the wonderful Zenobia. How are you?
Hiya, what's up?
Not too much.
It's me.
Thank you for being here.
Absolutely.
And we have a fun co-host with us, her first time on here, Doja.
Hi.
We like Doja.
We do.
chatting.
We do.
Thank you.
She's fun. She's going to be a little shy to start, but she's fun.
Absolutely. Very shy.
She'll be good.
We like it.
Yeah. So Bonnie is the one that reached out to me about you,
Mm-hmm.
but we have a mutual connection with Roderick McDaniel,
Yeah.
who, shout out to Roderick. He's amazing.
Roderick is the homie. Roderick is like the fast homie. I met him when I got here. I've physically known him in person once, but Roderick is the guy. We love him.
Yeah.
Every
Right.
clip I've seen of him, I'm like, we like this guy.
Yeah. No, he's been on here, and I was almost in tears a couple times for sure.
He's
It
got
was-
good stuff.
He had some good stuff. He was
Yeah.
talking about how he's not really a gangster, but he thought he was when he was younger. It was good. He was like, as soon as the bullets start flying, I'm out.
Learn them hard lessons.
Yeah.
It's like, nope.
So you do comedy,
I do.
and how long you been doing that?
I've been doing comedy for 12 years. 12 years nonstop through the pandemic, through the cities, through the fuckery. It's been a time, but I'm enjoying it. Straight stand up. I don't really do acting. I don't really do improv. I get to do cool shit like that, which is when you guys call me, but otherwise, yeah. I'm on a stage somewhere or I'm napping, watching all.
And you're originally from Boston.
Yes, Boston. I am a Boston comic. I recently left Boston. I've been in the ethos for a while, but it's cool because I realize, especially when I come to places, I'm like, oh yeah, Boston came with me. And it's weird because like I landed here and I went to the Goodwills. That was like one of the first things I did. I found the $5 rotisserie chickens at the HEB. Fuck yeah. And I found the Goodwills. I was like, oh. And it was like the first time I went to a Goodwill, I saw a mug that said, I love Boston. And then a couple of days later, I went to a different shop and there was something else that said Boston Strong. I was like, this is weird. And I was like, if I get a third one, that means I need to go home or play the lottery or something. But it stopped at the 2. But yeah,
How long have you been here?
I've been in Austin for 2 months.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird because it's just like you look at, and I was like, I saw the full moon the other day. I was like, oh, this is the second full moon. I was like, oh, I guess that makes it 2 months. But sometimes stuff just gets nebulous, especially when every day is 100 degrees and my brain is baking and I'm like, I don't know what's happening. And especially like when you don't have a day job, sometimes your schedule can get wonky. But yeah, it's been 2 months. 2 months and the weather hasn't changed yet.
No.
So that's been
But you prefer the cold weather.
time. I prefer seasons. I mean, like, I'm very, like, women just like certain things. Women like sweater weather. We like pumpkin spice. That's true. And we like wine. And it's like, I want to put on a sweater. I want to just like that mid range. And it's weird because, like, it's still hot as hell here, but some places have like some leaves falling off of the trees. I was like, oh, that's cute. It's like when I just go out, it's 1,000 degrees. So mainly I prefer seasons because, yeah, no.
Doja, you don't know seasons, right? Because you're from Texas.
You say you don't know seasons.
I know cold, which was when we had that snowstorm. That traumatized me for life. So I
You had a
prefer-
snowstorm in Texas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, right. I think it was 2021. I think so. Yeah.
Everybody like lost power.
Mm-hmm.
Like
There's a whole
snowed in.
freeze. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was awful. That's why I prefer to be hot than cold now. 100%.
What about
Sarah.
pumpkin spice? Are you into pumpkin spice at all?
I can't say that I've had it.
Damn.
I heard it's good though.
What do you like? Like when you go to Starbucks, what do you get? Like
I
if you
actually
get a
don't
flavor,
drink
like,
coffee.
what do you do? Do you do milk tea at all?
I do like Red Bull, coconut Red Bull
It's
specifically.
coconut Red Bull?
Have you tried it?
Nah, Red Bull. Like, I'm not a Red Bull fan. I don't know. I'm not a fan of a lot of like the modern stuff. Like kombucha's weird. It just tastes like feet. I'm like this.
I don't like that.
I'm like,
don't
it's
do
not
that.
coffee. It's not whiskey. Get it out of here.
What if it had alcohol in it?
Ooh, espresso martini.
Espresso martinis okay, but espresso martinis are kind of like a nuts and berries. Like if I'm having a nuts and berries or like an Irish coffee, it's like that's got to be nuts and berries is good, but it's like made with milk. You don't want to have like a Bailey's and cream and then be like, "Ooh, give me a Long Island iced tea."
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But people do that a lot here.
A lot.
A lot.
Wow.
But I also like to make espresso martinis without any cream or Bailey's in it at all. I think it's just
so
better
then
that
what?
way.
Oh, so
How do
you
you
make
do
like a
that?
black espresso martini?
Yeah,
or like
so
a
you'll-
cold brew.
Cold brew, Kahlua, little simple syrup. Just try one. You'll be fine.
That sounds awful.
Well, you're gonna try one. You'll see. I bet you'll like it.
I prefer tequila, but
Well, just do it with tequila. Tequila espresso martini.
you can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I
You do
think
whatever you want.
the best espresso martini is actually made with gin.
I love gin.
My dad loves gin.
It got me fucked up. I love gin.
Yeah.
I like wine, whiskey, or vodka for me. I don't drink beer. I've never gotten into beer. Tequila is just fucking a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Just-
Wait,
She
why?
got me to drink tequila one night. It was
I mean,
wild.
Yeah, see
Wild.
that. That.
That's fun.
No, I mean, like, I don't know. Like, for me, vodka fun is fun where it's just like I get nice and baked and like I feel okay after. But tequila is fucking dangerous.
I feel like vodka and tequila, like, they're both a good drunk. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, maybe the next time I go out, I'll just strictly stick with tequila and see if you're right. But like,
Yeah.
so just like
Well,
tequilas and sodas and stuff, or am I supposed to be pounded shots? Because that's a lot.
Just tequila soda, I think, is what you were
Yeah.
having.
If I don't love the taste of alcohol, so I'll do like cranberry. It's pretty easy to drink, and then shots in between.
See, that's why I
Good
like
balance.
deep eddies. Because if you have some deep eddies and just like some salsa and like maybe a splash of something else, you don't even know what's happening until it's done.
Yeah, so you can do like mixed shots. You can do like Mexican candy that has tequila. They're sweet.
Mexican. Oh.
It's mostly sugar.
See, sugar gives me a headache though.
It's mostly sugar.
Oh, God damn it.
But you know what else is mostly sugar, but it's also 100 proof is Rumplemans. Did we drink Rumplemans?
Disgusting. No.
You sure?
You might have. Not
No,
me.
Just
I think
absolutely not.
I think you had some that night.
Absolutely. Maybe. I
Mhm.
can't even lie.
It's called Rumplemans?
Oh yeah,
Well,
100
that
proof,
already sounds scary.
Peppermint flavor.
100 proof
Which-
peppermint schnapps.
Disgusting.
Yeah,
Like, why?
I might have to break up with it for a little while.
Like, why?
Forever.
Did you get like a case of it free or something? Because I can't
No.
imagine
That's the
somebody
only reason you would
buying
be
that.
drinking it. Yeah.
I want some peppermint stuff. No.
It's refreshing and it keeps your breath fresh while you're drinking. You know, it's good.
I have many
Thought about
Altoids.
that.
Oh, look
See,
at that.
that's what I don't like. This is, I mean, not for nothing. This is my thing. I was at the health store the other day. Wheatsville here, I fucks with the Wheatsville. Wheatsville is nice.
Okay.
They have those really good like pressed juices. But like I was somewhere and it's like the Jew in me won't let me pay for water. I'm not gonna buy a bottle of water. I'll buy some seltzer water, but you guys don't have seltzer water here the way that we have it on the East Coast. We have Polar, we have Polar, we have like 8 different brands.
There's
you
a
guys,
few. There's a few different ones here.
You guys have Waterloo and Topo Chico. Topo
Okay.
Chico, by the way, fucking the best.
And lime flavored Topo Chico.
You know what I found out about Topo Chico since I've been here? Topo Chico, in the glass specifically, is the absolute perfect thing to drink when you're on edibles. There's something so satisfying about Topo Chico when you either have dry mouth or when you're on edibles and it's always like the lime one. Yeah, in the glass. Like there's nothing better than that. What the hell were we talking about?
We were talking about Rumplemans, mostly, and seltzer and tequila.
And that Topo Chico is the only good seltzer water we have here.
Well, I think it was going back to the what you call it, but I don't know.
Wheatsville.
Oh yeah, Wheatsville is great. Fuck. Oh damn it!
I haven't been to Wheatsville in a long time. Actually,
No, I think my tumbler of Sauvignon Blanc is starting to kick in.
that's good.
Well,
Cheers.
I mean, I went to Trader Joe's before I got here, and I was like, I got a couple of things that I wanted. By the way, Trader Joe, man, who
You
the
like
fuck
that
is
place?
better than Joe? Like Trader Joe, like there's certain things that just make me happy, like sleep and nosh and like fucking Trader Joe.
Isn't
my
everything
guy.
like vegan there or something?
No, they got good stuff too.
Yeah, I've only been in there like twice.
Well, like they have really good snacks. They have wine. They have good cheeses. Although I will say this one over here is a little lackluster. I'm like, where the hell are the cheeses? But we were talking about not buying water.
Yes.
Right.
I don't remember.
That's
We'll
all
get
right.
back to it.
Well, you're not buying water unless it's got bubbles in it. I get it.
Well, no, it's one of those things where it's just like I'm not gonna spend money on the thing that like it's weird. It's like water should just be available.
Are you
Like,
talking
give
about
me-
like out or like for your home?
No, just out. I mean, just randomly, like I went someplace and I had to break some money, and I was like, I can't buy water.
Okay, so check this out. I don't do water from the gun at bars. I don't trust it.
Why?
I don't trust it. And I worked at a place because it's supposed to filter through. I worked at a place with this guy, and he was doing a glass of water every hour because he was trying to stay hydrated. I was like, all right, I'll join you out. I'll support. I felt like complete shit the next day, and that was the only thing different about my day. So no, I don't trust it at all.
The water or staying hydrated?
Oh, I stay hydrated.
You know,
Like
what?
I do
don't-
distilled water.
You know what? I don't trust anymore. Every time I go to a bar and get a drink and see them use that ice out of that well, it just makes me a little bit anxious because there's so much fucking room for error with that. Because that's the thing, it's like E. coli and everything will get frozen and then it thaws out in your drink, and then you're like, delicious. Diarrhea next day.
I
You
feel like
can't figure out what
I
it
feel like
was.
if you have enough alcohol, you'll be okay. It'll kill all that stuff.
Well, yeah, see that, and I feel like tequila's probably better at that. But again, I don't know. Give me some vodka, and like whiskey is medicinal. I always say like whiskey turns me into Yosemite Sam. So like I can't have whiskey and like be out and be social
Right.
because like generally dark whiskey or dark alcohol is a more combative sort of drink. It's like even if it comes to like dark tequila, it's
Dark
like
tequila.
just
Oh, like,
yeah.
yeah.
That's like-
Añejo.
I hate those. I do Blanco strictly. Well,
I feel like it is better. Transparency, man. Anything I can see through, it's just like swimming in the ocean. I want to know what's
oh, yeah.
so.
How
Like
often?
tequila.
How often do you drink per week? You think? Do you drink like during the week and the weekend?
It depends. I'll go on stretches where it's just like here in the heat, or like when I have to go out and it's like I can't really stay high because weed is my medicine.
Mhm.
And like I can't really stay high in extreme heat or extreme cold. So I'll just roll during the day on like some prosecco or whatever. So like the last couple of days I've been like on light stuff like wines and things.
Yeah.
But I mean, generally, I don't know. I mean, a couple times a week. And then, of course, when I go out to shows, usually that's part of it.
Oh,
I
hell
had
yeah.
been dry for like a couple of months just because because alcohol, not for nothing, especially once you get older, alcohol will like bloat you up and stuff. So if you stop drinking for a while, like a lot of like the water retention and everything will go out of you.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you have a filming or something, you can stop drinking for a while and like you'll show up better on
Yeah.
camera. But I've been back on it. So like, I mean, I don't know. I got some Sauvignon Blanc now. So
I took a decent break, and then I got back on, and I was hitting it kind of hard every day.
sometimes you can tell you're like, oh, I need to calm down.
Yeah. So this is actually my first week where I'm trying to not drink during the week, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have a drink today. But I do mostly try to do it during my street interviews, like Friday and Saturday, and a little bit Sunday,
Makes sense.
and just keep it kind of clean otherwise. But it's tough sometimes.
There are certain benchmarks there. I mean, they claim that drinking alone is one of those benchmarks, but that also can be a gray area because it's like I feel like it's not to sound too heavy, but it's like what you're feeling when you're drinking and why you're drinking. It's like, are you drinking because you're sad? Are you drinking because you're bored? Are you drinking because you really want to buzz? Because, I mean, a lot of it is just, escapism because the world is either horrifying, confusing, or just exhausting for
Sure,
me. So
sure.
when it's just like, when there's stuff going on, it's just like, want a mimosa, it's just like, and another thing, like for me, like I'll keep certain hours where it's just like, I'll fall asleep. They call it second sleep. You'll go to sleep at like 3:00, wake up at like 9:00, and I'll be up from like 9:00 to 7:00.
Mm-hmm.
And in that time, you'll end up having, some Prosecco at 6 a.m. in the morning. And it's like, this would be bad under other circumstances. But then you go to sleep, you wake up, and it's fine.
Right.
You have some coconut water in a double stack, you'll be fine.
Or some coconut Red Bull, according to this one over here.
Mix it with some tequila.
So how about you? Are
Well,
you
see, that's counterproductive.
a everyday
Let's right back to it.
everyday drinker?
I recently started doing that, but I feel like for a long time, like even when I turned 21, I wasn't a big drinker. I'm 22 now, about to be 23 next week, but I feel like
Happy birthday.
I was
Thank
going to say happy early.
Thank you. But I feel like I'm kind of like allowing myself to have fun now versus when I first, like, I was always working. Like, and even when I was a waitress and I was working at like a strip club with a bar, I wasn't allowed to drink on the clock either. So it was just like I was so invested in that. And then I never had weekends off because I had to work. So now I'm letting myself have fun.
Yeah.
Good, as you should.
Just a lot of water is usually the best counter for it. That's one of the things, like, especially like when you're bartending, it's just like if you see somebody who's a little bit too crapulous, you can, I mean, before you start, because I used to bartend, before you start watering their drinks down, you just make sure you give them a lot of water. And like if you do a water for every drink you have, you're usually good. And that's just so you can get nice and lit, but the next day you won't be like,
Unless it's shit water in the tap like I was drinking, then
well, you were drinking Dasani. So
Apparently.
it had to be.
Apparently.
That dehydrates you.
Yeah. So back to your comedy journey. I know we got off track there for a minute, but we were talking about booze and stuff, which is always fun. What do you have coming up?
I'm gonna be at Bottom of the Barrel next Tuesday at the Mothership. Yeah, that should be fun. I'm working on, knock on wood, hopefully I'm working on something with Cap City coming up in a couple of weeks. Hopefully that'll pan out. But then after that, I'm going back to the East Coast. I'm going to be doing the Wilbur Theater and something up in Maine. But as far as local, yeah, I'm going to be at the Bottom of the Barrel next Tuesday, which is
Cool.
always a super fun show.
Do you have to like buy tickets for that, or do you just show up? Like, how
No, I mean, usually their stuff, that's the thing about the Mothership is like their stuff always super sells out, but sometimes they'll have like, walk-up tickets available. But I mean, Bottom of the Barrel is always fun. It's like you guys get to submit into the barrel and then we pull stuff out and we'll just kind of talk to you and riff off of that. So it's kind of somewhat interactive. It's fun.
Okay.
They got a little barrel on the stage. It's very cute.
And where you've got an IG, right? You got an Instagram.
I do. At Del Mar Zenobia. My Facebook got shut down, but that's besides the point.
Good for you.
But I mean, no, see, Facebook was good for certain things. Like I was trying to figure out the specifics about the story that I wanted to tell today, but everything happened while I was on Facebook, so I don't have access to that anymore. But my IG is at Del Mar Zenobia. I have an album. It's called Reckless with the Truth. It's all over the place. You can Google me. You can Spotify. Put it on in the car. It'll give you some giggles. My friend was telling me she was listening to her Spotify with like her mom in the car. And then my album popped up and it just said Sexy Toddler, which is the name of one of the tracks. So she was like, I can't explain it. I'm just going to skip it. I was like, sorry, but not sorry.
Well, I'll make sure to.
That's how Roderick knows me. He's like, I've been listening to your album. I'm like, yeah, Roderick McDaniel, who's the tits. We love him. Thank
Definitely.
you. He's how I got here.
I'll definitely throw some links up under my story to see if we can get you some more audience there.
It's funny because I have an old school iPod, which some people know what that is, and my album is on my iPod, and it'll pop up randomly. So it's like I'm listening to Poison, and the next thing I hear is me. It is kind of weird. It's just like, oh, I don't need that. Right.
Poison, like the 80s rock band
Poison, nothing but a fucking good time. Yes, Poison.
I saw them a few years back, and it was them. Who was it? Def Leppard, Joan Jett, and Motley Crue. And I was really there to see Motley Crue, right? And guess what? The best band was Poison.
And sometimes people just like, and like Bret Michaels is kind of a mess, but I just remember those flaming pants and that big hair. Nothing but a good time. It's certain things you just can't deny. It's like you can hate Marky Mark all you want, but if you put on Good Vibrations, it's gonna fucking slap. It just is. Certain things will just get you. I'm like, oh, you got me there. You got that one. But yeah, nothing but a good time. Poison. All of that kind of weird stuff.
Do you like going to dive bars? Because I feel like that at this point, it's dive bars.
I don't like it, but it's where I end up because of my job. So yeah, in that respect. But yeah, I mean, dive bars are cool because dive bars are where it goes down.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like you show up and you're like, all right.
Yeah.
I know they have everything on tap, and I definitely don't want to use the bathroom. That's
No.
No. It's like, I just gonna go outside and pee in that bush.
Yep.
It will be fine.
Come back in like nothing happened.
Yeah, just scoot yourself across the lawn. I would rather that. Me and my friend were talking about wanting to pee outside in the bush rather than going in a porta potty.
Oh,
It's the
absolutely.
same-
I don't
it's
do
the same
porta
thing
potties.
with-
Bush,
I do not do porta
alley,
potties.
You name it.
I mean, not for nothing. It's like, especially if you do some street pissing. Number one, street pissing can be very liberating. Number two, especially if like you're on your way home. Like, I don't want to be on my way someplace and then like piss in an alley and then go there. Like, no.
You have to be careful with that, though, because now there's certain states, if they catch you peeing outside, you have to register as a fucking sex offender.
Well, no, I think that's if you have a penis to take out. And see, that's the thing. Penises are a
Maybe
sticking
she's
point.
right.
See, because I'm imagining if you're talking about outside urination, usually you're talking about having to extract a tool. But if you're a woman, and if you're a woman on a good day who's wearing a skirt and who can do it without brandishing her ass, maybe,
I don't
maybe with
think
that.
You know what another trick is? I learned. You open your front door and the back door, and you pee in the middle. Do you know what I
Oh
mean?
yeah, with the doors. Yeah.
And you have
Yeah,
your own
well-
personal stall on the
security.
street.
hmm
That's good for other things, too, but
Yeah.
we'll save that for another time.
Street pissing.
I don't believe that, though.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it can be the case, but those are certain things that are obviously different with men and women. It's just like dicks. I say dicks are a sticking point. It's just like when it comes to certain things that people don't respect, like not for nothing, a lot of times men don't respect female on male rape or molestation because dick is a sticking point. But they understand rape if they're getting raped in a jail and there's a dick involved. It's like, oh, now you get why I want you to not fucking follow me home from the Chinese food station when I'm trying to goddamn get some fried rice and go home. Now you know.
I love fried rice.
Where's the good Chinese around here?
I'll put together a list for you.
Yeah.
This is why I come here. You
I
can
got
tell me about food.
I got you. So let's talk about your story a little bit.
Oh, dive bars.
You're, was it Connecticut?
Yeah, I'm from Massachusetts, and the thing about New England, like New England is the antithesis of here, and like there are a bunch of states next to each other. Like there will be weekends where I'll do a show in Rhode Island, and I'll do a show in Boston, and do a show in Connecticut, like all in the same gambit. And this was like a couple of years ago, and I was living in Boston. And sometimes shows come up like last minute, and my friend just like hits me up. She's one of my interesting friends. She's like, "Hey, I got this show down in Connecticut. You want to come do this show with me? I'll come and pick you up." I'm like, I don't really want to go to Connecticut. Connecticut's just a fucking weird place. It's like Connecticut has hauntings, pizza, and mob ties. Connecticut is one of those weird places. It has the highest concentration of supernatural things happen specifically in Connecticut. Annabelle, the little doll, was in Connecticut. The haunting was in Connecticut. Those two people from Poltergeist, the two consultants, they were from Connecticut. So anyway, and she's like, "You want to go do this show in Connecticut?" And it's a full moon. And I'm like, I don't particularly want to go and do this show in Connecticut. But she's like, all right, we'll come and do the show. I'm like, all right, cool. So she picks me up. We drive down to Connecticut to do this show. And it's like, we get there and we pull into the place. And like, the place is a place that doesn't belong in the Northeast of America. It's one of those places where it's like, I don't know if this is a shack. I don't know if you have plumbing. I don't know what the hell this is. But we pull up to the place. I'm like, all right, well, that happens a lot. You'll pull up to places like, this isn't safe. Let's go in. So we go in, and it's like, I walk into the joint, and like the bartender is like an older dude. There's a bunch of townies over here. There's a bunch of guys playing pool over there. Like there was some sort of sporting game. I'm in Massachusetts. We're always winning something. So I think it was probably the Celtics playing. So there's like all of this outside noise going on, but that's the good and bad thing about bars and bar shows. It's like you just show up into their environment to work. Very few times will the bar be like, we're shutting this place down and there's going to be comedy and we're going to turn. No, it's just like you go in and you do what it is. So we go in and like all of this stuff is happening. And I look like this. And my friend is this mulatto lady who's very nice. And everybody else there looks like they may, want to fight us. They may be trying to string us up. There's guys over there that look like bikers. And then on the other side, there's guys playing pool that look like gamblers. And I'm just like, there's a lot going on. I'm like, all right, fucking A, let's go. So I go in and it's like, We start the show. Most of the people go up and don't do well because in bars, most of the time, people come to bars for what the fuck they're doing. They don't really give a shit about what you got going on. So we do the show, and like everybody goes up. A lot of heckling. The only better thing than heckling is apathy. If people just ignore you in a dive bar, that's kind of like the best thing. It's like if you don't want to watch, that's fine. You want to do what you're doing, I'm going to do what I'm doing. Great. And so like the show starts, it doesn't go well. I go up. I have a relatively good set. We finish. And like, it's time to settle up and everything. It's time to go home. And it's one of those things where it's like, okay, well, everything's going good so far. I think the guys over there won. And there was this woman who's like, I was telling you guys before we started, she had what I call the white women, the official white women who are not to be fucked with haircut. And it was just like, she was one of those people. It's just like, oh, hi, I'm going to wave at you from over here. Just like super fucking scary. But like, we finished the show and like, we go outside. It's time to leave. We're packing up. It's time to go back to Boston. And it was so weird. I will never forget this. She encounters me in the parking lot and she goes, hey, she goes, that was really great. She shakes my hand. She was like, thanks for bringing comedy here. And I was just like, that was wild. And then I got in the car and we went home and I lived. And I got to come here and tell you this weird little story about going to Connecticut, telling jokes in scary bars on full moon.
On full moons.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, I was telling her, it's like I have more bar stories. I have more bus stories than I have bar stories. But I was like, I'll just tell a bar story about
I
being
think
in
for fun-
Connecticut and doing this show.
I think for fun, before we close it out, you can tell a bus story if you want, just because why not?
Which one?
But whatever
Bus
you want.
story, like crazy shit happens on the bus.
Well, hold on, we're not there yet. Hold on, we're not.
Sorry.
I want to talk about this woman real quick. So you said she was she was from Monster, right? Was it?
Yeah, Eileen Wernos. I think she's the one. Yeah.
That
Now she
just clicked as to who that is. She shook your hand.
No, it wasn't really her.
No,
I'm
but
saying
someone
she
that
had.
looked
Yeah,
like her.
she had all of those vibes. Where it was like there's certain people that you see that look like they're from a different time
Mm-hmm.
and a different place, and will give you certain vibes. It's just like again. I was on the bus the other day, and there was a cholo with a tattooed skull. I was like, not to be fucked with. I was like, no, there's certain people you just see them, and it's like, I'm gonna go ahead and keep my distance. It's like, just be ready to run. Whatever's going on.
Did she have a cigarette in her hand when she shook your hand?
We were in a parking lot. No, actually, she had come. She was smoking because I walked past her. She was smoking, but when she came over to me, no, it was just she had walked away from her people. And it was just me and my buddy getting into this little hatchback to go back to Boston.
I feel like she's probably done some shit before.
Exactly. Exactly. And
But
that's
girl
why
power,
she's-
girl
that's-
power. She's not gonna fuck with you. You know
That's
what I'm
why
saying?
she's anonymous at Pistol Pete's down in Connecticut 2 years ago. I hope she's well.
Does that place still exist?
I looked it up. It does.
Okay.
Not only that, but there's a Pistol Pete's in Austin too. I mean, it makes sense. It's an alliteration thing. Certain things sell. PP, Pistol Pete's. So like, you'll have certain things repeat. It's like having a place called a Laugh Shack. It's like, yeah, a couple of people open places called Laugh Shacks. Laugh Shack was a BoJack Horseman. Laugh Shack was a stand-in for the Comedy Store, but it was called the Laugh Shack.
Have you been to Pistol Pete? Here?
No, but I should go now.
You should go.
I should go and get some tequila and not get fucked up. She's like,
I support that.
All right. So when you don't have wine at these venues, what is your go-to?
vodka soda's always great.
Is there a specific vodka that you just love?
I like Absolute and I like Stolichnaya. I like Stolichnaya because, I mean, even though it's made in Poland, Stolichnaya has always been like some very hardcore Eastern European stuff. Like the Eastern Europeans drink Stoli. And it's very clean. It's old. Like Tito's is good, but Tito's is corn vodka. Corn vodka is sweeter, which gives you a little bit more of a hangover.
It's syrupy to me, in that sense.
What about like Kettle One or Grey Goose?
I'm all about Kettle.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
yeah. Kettle One,
My go-to.
like the echelon for me, like I used to live by a place called Wegmans. Oh, I love Wegmans. Wegmans is a grocery store, and they had like a full packet. Packy's a liquor store, like a full liquor section, like liquor, wine, everything. And I used to always get the botanical Kettle Ones because Kettle One is great. That or the Kettle One Citron, super clean. I'll take Kettle One over a Grey Goose or a Belvedere. It's just
And what did Kettle do? Was it like a cucumber
Sweet.
one or something like that?
There was
believe
a
they did.
cucumber and
Pretty
peach
refreshing.
blossom.
If you do the cucumber with just like half an ounce of Saint Germain elderflower liqueur, and then a little bit of agave nectar, and then club soda,
Okay, bartender.
game over.
Yeah.
Game over.
Well, no, I'll mix up some good stuff too. Like sometimes, like my favorite is like if you make fresh lemonade. Like lemonade is so simple. I don't understand certain things. It's like macaroni and cheese. I don't understand Kraft macaroni and cheese. It's two fucking ingredients. Why are you buying it in a box with bright orange? It's wrong. But lemonade, all you got to do is put the lemon, the sugar, and the water, and you put a little cucumber in there and shake that up. Cucumber makes lemonade taste a million times better. It makes it taste fancy. It makes it taste cleaner. It's just like water.
We
Like,
should
if
have
you
one with vodka or tequila today.
Well, yeah, if you do if you do like a lemon drop with like a cucumber shake in there, and then finish it with like a really good ginger beer, those are good too.
I think you would like. There's this drink called a cutie, and it's like Topo Chico. They dump out a little bit of the water, and you can get it back, and then they'll put cucumber vodka in it, and dress it with
Cucumber
like.
vodka's so good.
Yeah.
Depending
it's
on the
really
brand. 'Cause some of that stuff's too
Again,
much.
Stoli cucumber. Stoli cucumber is very good. That's one of my favorites. I mean, yeah, when it comes to drinking, it's like if you're gonna drink, like I want it to be good. I don't want it to be like not for nothing, but it's like mind your fucking business. So I'm not really gonna be drinking something that's super fragrant on a bus. It's not like you wanna drink a 40 and smell like everybody else on the bus. Cause I've been in a couple of metropolitan cities lately, and God bless Austin, but there are so many people who smell pickled here. It is insane. I'm like, how? Why?
Well, let's talk about this bus story before we close it out. We've got a few minutes left. Since you brought up the bus again.
All right, I'll tell you a vintage bus story that literally led to a joke. It's like I'm on the bus and I see this baby, and like, God bless him, that was an ugly fucking baby. You ever just see, and it's just striking. It's just like, ooh.
Yeah.
And you don't say anything, obviously. It's just like sometimes you'll see, not for nothing, you'll see something that's certainly just jarring. This baby was ugly as sin. And I'm sitting there, and my superpower / thing that I need to heal from is the fact that I always have a narrator in my head. He's always on, and he is hilarious. So it's like I'm sitting there, and I'm looking at this baby, and I'm like, fuck. I'm like, fuck. I'm like, who did that? And then my head just starts roasting. It's just like, who did that? Like, I feel like whoever made this baby's face felt bad. Like, where'd this baby come from? Like, this baby's been through some shit. And I was just like, you know what? This is why I can't have a kid, because not for nothing, you can have an ugly kid, you can have a stupid kid, but what if you just have a bad seed? And you're just looking at this kid like, where the fuck is your mother? And you're like, oh, God damn it. Like, I gotta. And that's why. That and the fact that we're going to be fighting water wars in about 20 years. That's like maybe 10. Just don't breed. Fuck all you want. Have all the snacks you want. Just please don't breed. We got enough. I feel like if there were quality control on people, we would have been gone a long time ago. If somebody would have been like, oh no, something's gone awry. We
Yeah.
don't need this anymore.
I think a lot of shit's going to go down in a few years.
I feel like the water wars are going to be real. Like, they're jokes that aren't jokes. It's just like California. It's just like, I'm not going to live someplace where there isn't water until like I have to. Like, that to me is just bizarre. I'm like, you don't have people are like, oh, come back to California. I'm like, you still got mountain lions eating your pets. You still got droughts in shanty towns next to the Wendy's. I'm like, no, actual shanty towns next to the Wendy's. Right down from the Scientology building, right there on Vermont Avenue. I just wanted a double stack. I'm just like, ow. Like, I'm hungover. I need a double stack. Gotta fight through Tent City.
Have you thought about doing like a tour for a couple months with like a couple comedians? Because I know a few around here that bounce around every now and again.
I mean, I'm always down for stuff like that. Whenever it comes to comedy and just the show, knock on wood, I have something that's brewing. Hopefully that'll come through by the time this finishes. But I'm not very good at the organization of it. Like back in Boston, I had people hit me up and say, hey, can you book me on this show? And I'm like, I'm not a producer. I just do these shows. But people thought I produced because my fingers were in everything. But like producing shows and doing tours and everything like that, that's a lot of fucking work. But if somebody's like, hey, you want to come on this tour? I'm always down. It's like my friends used to make fun of me for that. Like way back in the day. They're like, yeah, Zenobia's cool because you could just tell her to show up someplace. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, you guys are my friends and we going to do cool shit. Why would I bitch? It's just like, yeah. It's like there's sandwiches. There's a place to lay down. I'm like, yeah, let's go. Let's do it.
What about like a tour manager, or like an agent or something like that could do all that stuff for you?
I had a very short stint with a management team back east that didn't work out. I terminated that before I could go too deep. But I mean, I am at the area where you get management and all that kind of stuff, but it's not the kind of thing that you want to seek out until it makes sense. You know, it's like it's kind of like, oh, I want to record a comedy special. It's like you record a comedy special and then you spent all this money and then you're sitting on this special. It's kind of like because I'm kind of at the same level with a lot of other people that have doing it at the same pace of time, and some of them are on tours. Some of them are doing TV, and some of them are just working regularly at comedy, and you'll never know their names until you go to a show and you're like, yo, that guy was fucking awesome. Or, that chick who talked about, her ex in a way that I didn't expect was super good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's like, yeah, you consider it, but it's not really something that I'm pursuing. If somebody pops up and they're like, hey, we want to make you $1 million and do this thing, then yeah. It's kind of like how my album came about. It's like I wasn't pursuing doing an album, but then my buddy came to me. It's my buddy, he's back on the East Coast, Dead Metal Productions, who did my album. They literally came to see me and they were like, we want to do albums and we want to produce yours first. And I was like, absolutely. And I did it and it turned out super well. Like my album is one of those things that retrospectively you're super proud of because it's like I listened to it. And that album was done all at once in one take with like no editing, it was just like it's like if you ever do film and it's like getting a shot in a single take.
Right.
And it's like, oh, you did a whole 30 minutes with no cuts. And it's just like, yeah. And it turned out like super good. And if, management comes around that way, if, comedy specials come around that way, I hate to use the term organic because it's overly used, but just like something that makes sense and timing wise, and somebody comes to me and says, hey, do you want to do this thing? It's just like, yeah, I'm kind of always ready for that. And that's the good thing about doing as much work as I do and doing as many cities as I do and doing it as long as you do is like whenever somebody comes and says, hey, do you want to do this thing? It's just like, yeah, you're ready.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, well, let me get this together and see if it's like, no. And comedy is one of those things where it's just like, once they say go, it's time to go. And I've been in comedy rooms when they're like, hey, the headliner isn't here. Can you go up and entertain them for 20 minutes? This is just like, yeah. Either you go up and you do it, you come off and you get paid, and, it's the job and we like it.
Well, I do hope to see you perform before you leave.
Yeah, I'll be around.
Okay. Well, we're going to close out here. But one more time, if you want to drop your IG handle.
At Del Mar Zenobia on IG. I don't have Facebook anymore, but my album is called Reckless with the Truth. You can Google that anywhere. I send a lot of clips to people. A lot of times I'll hit up headliners and say, hey, do you need a feature? It's super cool to just have something to send to them. And they're like, oh, you're funny. Or, oh, you're not. I don't like how many times you talk about your clam. But, it's good stuff. It's called Reckless with the Truth. I'm Zenobia Del Mar, and I'm kind of around.
Well, Zenobia, thank you so much. And Doja, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Cheers.